Namaste viewers, welcome to Avinash Bio category. So in the previous video we focused on the few basic things related to the transition unit, related to its requirements. So that is in the transition headline. So just already in the previous video itself I told you. So the transition video, it will be in the two sessions, two parts. So this is the second part related to that transition. So who have not seen that video, so go to the previous video and observe those the few things related to the basic regarding that transition. So this is the continued video. So in the previous video, so let me start from that concept itself. So in that transition unit, already we have seen we are having three reasons: promoter, terminator, and in between, that is flanked by the structural gene at the center. So all the three reasons together form the structural that is a transition unit, right? So the transition unit, it is present in the eukaryotin, euchromatin part of the DNA here, right? Either it may be prokaryotic or eukaryotic. So RNA polymerase enzyme is going to transcribe that process. But thing is, in case of prokaryotes, only just one enzyme is present. But in case of eukaryotes, we are having three kinds of enzymes for that process to happen. Why? Because to produce the three different types of RNAs, in case of eukaryotes, one different RNA polymerase enzyme get used. But in case of prokaryotes, for the production of three different RNAs, just only one RNA polymerase enzyme get used there. So this is the overall thing just we discussed in the last video here. So if we continue that transcription, that process. Here, thing here, in a transcription unit, we have seen some special nucleotide sequences in the promoter region. So that is the Tata box and the TAT box. Right here, let me write them here. TA, TA, AA, like that. So that is the Tata box, and Tata box, it is present in eukaryotes and archaea. So in these organisms, in their promoter region, we can see the Tata box, right? But in case of eukaryotes, sorry, in case of prokaryotes, we can see the, so this type of box. That means same sequences, but they are orderly different in their arrangement. So that is in the case of prokaryotes, right? So here, either this box or this box in the promoter region, hardly they might be having 5, 6 to 7 nucleotide sequences. That means small piece of the DNA in the promoter region, that is in the core part of the promoter region. So here, this box, it is also called as Goldberg-Schorler box. This one, or this box which is present in the prokaryotes, this box, it is also called as Preble-Schorler box, right? So that is in the, so these are the major things. Why I'm writing these things here means, so from this thing onward, the process is going to initiate that transcription process. That means sigma factor will recognize any one of these boxes, depending on the prokaryote or eukaryote or archaea, depending on that one. So let me write here. Imagine this is our DNA, double stranded DNA. Now this is the transition unit. It shows the transition process. Now imagine from this portion the process is going to start. Let me consider this is the promoter, and this is the region where the process is going to end. This is the terminator. In between, this is the structural gene, right? Now imagine in the promoter region, the box is present here, that is AT rich box. So adenosine and thymine or TA rich box is present here. Now the enzyme is going to recognize that one. The enzyme, special enzyme which is recognizing that sequences here, DNA dependent RNA polymerase enzyme. So let me write the enzyme name. DNA dependent RNA polymerase enzyme. So this enzyme is going to recognize that promoter sequence. along with the help of sigma factor. In case of prokaryotes, only one enzyme is present here. This is in case of prokaryotes. Suppose if it is a eukaryote, means it is having three different types of enzymes: RNA polymerase 1, RNA polymerase 2, RNA polymerase 3 in case of eukaryotic transcription. RNA polymerase 1, its a speciality is, so it is going to transcribe rRNA. That means the ribosomal RNA get transcribed from the RNA polymerase 1, and along with that one it will help in transcription of 28S rRNA, 18S rRNA and 5.8S rRNA. So these are the special RNAs. And RNA polymerase 2, it helps in the transcription of hnRNA. What is this hnRNA? This is the heterogeneous nuclear RNA. So this RNA next it get modified into mRNA by the post-translational process. That means RNA polymerase 2 helps in the formation of mRNA. But thing is, it is not direct. So it is first hnRNA get produced, next it becomes mRNA. And RNA polymerase 3, it is going to produce the tRNA, transfer RNA. Next one, and this transfer RNA along with that one, it is going to produce snRNA. snRNA means small nuclear RNA. So these are the different types of RNAs get produced from the three different RNA polymerase enzymes in the case of eukaryotes. But thing is, in case of prokaryotes, only one RNA polymerase enzyme is used. So one is a simple process and one is a little bit complex here. So when this DNA is going to transcribe, first the DNA, it is going to form this type of structure, right? It is going to form first this kind of structure. Let me mark them here: 3' to 5', 3' to 5' and 5' to 3'. So here the DNA is going to open at one portion, that is at the promoter region. For opening of the DNA, we need DNA unwindase enzyme. That unwindase enzyme activity is done by the polymerase itself, or sometimes other enzymes, proteinaceous structures get used here. So it is getting open, so hydrogen bonds are broken down. So after that one, it looks like one eye, bubble like structure. This bubble like structure we will call it as a transcription bubble. So transition bubble opened, now the process continued here. So in which direction? So in this direction. And which stand is used? This stand, not the downside stand. Only this template stand is used for the production of mRNA. Now, so here who is going to that continue the process means again the enzyme itself. But how the mRNA going to produce means, say here for example, this is the enzyme, right? When enzyme is moving on this template DNA stand, not on this DNA stand, not on the both the DNA stand, only on the template DNA stand. When it is moving, it goes on adding the complementary nucleotides, right? It goes on adding the complementary nucleotides. So already complementary nucleotides are present in cytoplasm. Why? Because this process occurs in the cytoplasm, not in the nucleoplasm, right? That replication occurred in the nucleoplasm. So here in the cytoplasm, free nucleotides are already present. Which are those nucleotides? Let me write them here. The nucleotides are, okay, let me mark them here itself. AMP, GMP, CMP and UMP, not a TMP. What is the MP means here? Monophosphates, adenosine monophosphate, guanosine monophosphate, like that. That means nucleotides, free nucleotides are present in the monophosphate forms. But here we do not consider TMP, we have to consider UMP. Why? Because the RNA is getting produced here, not a DNA. Now these monophosphate nucleotide forms, they get transcribed to the triphosphate forms. Triphosphate nucleotide forms. So during that transportation, during that transferring, so again here 2 inorganic phosphates are needed. Who will give that inorganic phosphate? H3PO4 molecule. It gives 1,1 phosphate. 2 inorganic phosphates are given. Monophosphates form get converted into triphosphates form. That first step we will consider it as activation. So the first step is activation. So since there is no power, okay, the first step is activation. Activation of what? Activation of nucleotides. Monophosphate get converted into triphosphate. And for this process to happen, one important enzyme is used, that is phosphorylase enzyme. The work of phosphorylase enzyme is addition of inorganic phosphates to these forms. They get converted into triphosphates form. So that step is the activation. After the activation, those complementary nucleotides joined one by one, and the production of mRNA continues up to what? Up to the terminator region. Imagine this is the terminator region. Up to the terminator region, the process continued. Yes. Yes, the phosphorylase enzyme helps in this process, that is activation. So now the mRNA strand is going to produce the RNA polymerase enzyme moves up to the terminator region. When it reaches the terminator region, in the terminator region we are having that a sigma factor, rho factor. So here rho factor is present. Rho factor, it loosens the complex of that mRNA and to the template DNA strand. Because of that reason, the producing mRNA get separated. Now when the process is continuing here, from the back side the unwinded DNA again rejoin here. So at the time of rejoining, whatever attached SSB proteins are present here. What are the SSB proteins? Single stranded binding proteins. They help in the keeping both the strands apart. That means they will not rejoin both the separated DNA strands. Such kind of proteins get attached here, they get removed, then a DNA is going to rewind as the process is going to continue here. Yes. And one more thing, when triphosphate nucleotides, when triphosphate nucleotides are attaching to the template DNA strand, at that time once again they get converted into monophosphate forms. That means again 2 inorganic phosphates are removed once again. Here they have been joined, there they have been removed. So when they are going to remove, at that time energy will come outside. By using that energy, so here sugar phosphate bond has been created. That means phosphodiester bond get created here. So because of that reason, one strand has been formed here continuously, right? So this is the overall thing, the mRNA get produced here. But thing is little bit different here. In the case of prokaryotes, whatever the mRNA get produced here, we will call that mRNA as polycistronic mRNA. And in case of eukaryotes, whatever the mRNA get produced, that mRNA we will consider it as monocistronic mRNA. So these are the special things you need to keep in your mind. What is a polycistronic mRNA meaning? Poly means, as already we know, many. Cistron means this is the structural gene or structure. It's a simple meaning is structure. Polycistronic mRNA means one mRNA producing many enzymes. One mRNA producing many proteins. And monocistronic means, as the name itself indicates, one mRNA responsible for production of one polypeptide chain or one protein. And thing is, here in the case of polycystonic mRNA, so it is present in the form of hnRNA starting. So hnRNA means, as already I told you, heterogeneous nuclear RNA. So this produced RNA, so it is not in the active form, it is present in the inactive form. Why? Because it is having introns and exons. It is having intron and exon. So here exons are the coding regions, introns are the non-coding regions of the mRNA. Now we need to remove the introns, we need to join only exons. That process is considered to be the post-translation process, right? And here why the intron and exons get produced here means, so this polycystonic mRNA produced from the split gene. That means eukaryotic genes are called as split genes. Split means, as already we know, differentiating here. Differentiating regions get produced in one mRNA. Split gene. Split gene producing the monocystonic mRNA, so which is having the intron and exon. That means coding region is interrupted by the non-coding regions here. So here this split region, split gene, it codes for the mRNA having intron and exon, of course, and because of that reason this produced hnRNA will undergo post-translational process, that is post-translational modification, capping, tailing and splicing. After that one hnRNA get converted into mRNA. Then the translation process begins, and because of that reason in this mRNA translation process is late. Late means it will take some time. But in case of polycystonic mRNA, as soon as it get produced, it will undergo the next step, that is second step, translation. That means polycystonic mRNA production, transcription and translation both occurs together simultaneously. But here it will take the time, right? And just we saw this term gene, split gene. But thing is, different scientists have defined the gene in different ways. See, if we consider that a gene term, if I consider the first scientist, Johnson the scientist, according to him, gene means it is the unit of inheritance. So gene means unit of inheritance, of course according to Mendel also, but he did not use the term gene, he used the term factor. According to them, gene means unit of inheritance, transferring of character. According to T.H. Morgan, father of experimental genetics, who worked on Drosophila melanogaster, according to him, gene means unit of recombination. Yes, gene means unit of recombination. Why? Because he majorly focused on linkage and recombination concept. So recombination gene also called as recon. Yes, and third one, according to Badel and Tatum, so they gave one theory. So what is the theory? One gene, one enzyme. According to them, one gene is responsible for production of one enzyme, Badel and Tatum. So others they considered, so for example, Ionescu scientist, according to him, so here he gave one more, that is the same thing in different manner, one gene, one polypeptide chain. According to him, the gene is responsible for production of one polypeptide chain. So here one more major term, one more major thing, Benzer, major scientist. So here he defined the same gene in different manner, one gene, one function concept. So this is overall thing. He captured all the things together. According to Benger, one gene, one function. What is that function? It may produce one polypeptide chain, it may produce tRNA, it may produce rRNA, it may produce enzyme. But overall thing is one gene means one function according to him. And the same scientist, he gave some other terms. Cistron, muton, recon. So these are the different names for a gene. Cistron means the structural gene. This is the structural gene which is producing the mRNA that produces a polypeptide chain that modified into enzyme. So that gives one character. Cistron. Muton means the gene which is responsible for undergoing mutation, that is mutating gene, changing gene. So this is at most important for evolution process, muton. Recon means the gene which is showing the recombination. So its portion is less, recombining gene. Not all the genes are undergoing recombination. Few genes at the time of crossing over. So recombination gene according to the T.H. Morgan. And one more term you can refer for the gene, that is the replicon. Gene means a replicon. Replicon means the portion of the gene which is undergoing the replication. And here replicon or repliosomes. The repliosome means the starting point of that replication process to happen. That repliosome in case of the prokaryotes is just one, in case of eukaryotes those are many. So these are the different names given for a gene. So different scientists observed gene in different ways, right? And here this gene, in the case of transition, we have to consider a gene as a cistron, right? In this concept, that cistron is going to lead this overall process along with that specific enzyme, RNA polymerase enzyme. So these are the things. I hope in the previous video we focused on this overall transition in it along with some other concepts. So already the theory, that means how the process is going to happen, already they are given in an NCERT book. Once you see that concept along with that one, so focus on these things, scientist names and different all these aspects, right? Thank you. And one more thing, in the next video, in the next upcoming video, so let us focus on its a continued part, that is a translation. First we observed the replication, next this one transcription, the next coming one is a translation process. Yes, thank you.